Like that? Tell the people that phony water is back. Like that? Tell the people that phony water is back. Like that?
You are tuned into the W Show on Sideline Sports Talk Network and 100.1 FM, Kansas City. Live from Radio Row in San Francisco, California. Brought to you by Gates Barbecue, the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, Dillard Zona Rosa, the Soul of Santa, Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services, and Wood Nissan.
All right, back here live on Radio Row. We got the morning started, and we have yet another guest. This person everyone should know. AEW wrestling star Harley Cameron. How are you doing?
I'm great, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Sure. What brings you to Radio Row?
Oh, life.
Yeah.
So we had a show this week in Las Vegas. So I was very close by. And then obviously this year we have the Super Bowl, which I've never been to. But I'm a Jags supporter because of Tony. And so we obviously had a great opportunity to get here and talk about what we've got going on. We have a big show coming up in my hometown in Australia on the 14th of February, Grand Slam Australia. So I wanted to get the word out because I'm defending my title.
So how do you prepare for that?
For the match, for the travel home, for what part?
All of it. We have to defend the title.
It's a lot of staying ready. It's a lot of, life for us is definitely very high paced on the go. We live at the airports a lot of the time, but yes, it's just, staying consistent, training all the time and making sure that we aren't too jet lagged.
Now talk about how you got your start.
How excited
are Wait, you I know you've the champion now, but let's start ground zero.
So I'm actually quite new to wrestling. I've only been wrestling a few years. I was in entertainment my whole life. I did theater and cabaret and everything like that for the majority of my life. I moved to America and I saw a live wrestling show, just an independent show. And I was like, I want to wrestle. And I just had like a light bulb moment. So I went to wrestling school and the rest is history. I was very fortunate that it paid off for me. But I had a background in entertainment and athletics separately. And then when I was in America, I was like, oh, wow, I could actually do this.
Yeah. Had you ever, seen like a wrestling match or watched it on TV,
up? Growing up as a kid, I was always a fan, like my little brother and I would watch it like religiously. It's just in Australia, you don't ever think you can make it to America and have the life that is here. And it is such an amazing life here because especially in entertainment, there's so much, it's so vast and there's so many opportunities, but no one grows up thinking you can go live that American dream. And then, I left everything. I just took a bag of clothes and I moved to America and, it was a lot of hustle, but it all worked out. And now I am the AEW Women's Tag Team Champion.
Living the American dream.
Right?
What is your signature move?
My finisher, my finisher is called my finishing move. It's literally called that. Tony Schiavone, one of our amazing commentators, he likes to yell at, "It's her finishing move" when I hit it. So it always brings joy to me hearing him yell that out. But hey, I'm gonna show you when we're finished this.
Let's go.
Right?
That's the guy to show it to. Yeah.
I won't do it to you. You'll be out for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But yes, obviously we have our favorite things that we like to do. I'm a kicker. I got long legs.
Yeah, me too. Teach me how to properly kick.
Yeah, I can.
Teach me how to properly kick so I don't go to jail.
Yeah.
Hey, we can change that today.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. And you talked about a wrestling school.
Yeah.
Is this like going to college? Is this like a 4-year thing? No, I know it's not that long. But talk to me about that.
So there's all kinds of different wrestling schools, and essentially they're you got to think of it, I guess, like a wrestling gym in ways where you will have veterans from the business or current people working. So my coaches were Tyler Breeze and Sean Spears, who are both, legends in their own right. And they teach you everything from, running the ropes to, promos, which essentially is like working to camera and everything like that. But you don't ever have an end date. Once you begin training, you should train forever. It's just you begin and then they kind of teach you the fundamentals. you go out in the world and then you do independent shows, and then if you are very fortunate, you get to work for All Elite Wrestling and get a contract and your life changes. And you know, I was very lucky that was my journey.
Yes, indeed.
No, wrestling's been around for ages, right? Was there anyone that you kind of looked up to as you were growing up?
Oh yeah, a lot of people definitely. Like I feel like throughout the years, especially when I was a child, I had like phases of different people that I enjoyed. I always loved Trish Stratus. She was, she's one of the GOATs, I think. I was growing up, I was a big Shawn Michaels fan.
Okay.
You know, so like I think that especially now that I am wrestling, like you get a different appreciation, and then you start to watch stuff back and you're like, oh wow, now I'm really inspired by this person and this person. Like at the moment there's a wrestler called Tajiri, and I'm like, I'm in a rabbit hole right now of his work, and I'm like, oh gosh, I love his matches. Like there's people that I work with currently. Like we have another female on our roster named Toni Storm, and she's amazing. She's really revolutionized, I think, character work in wrestling and brought it back to the core of what it used to be that got lost lately. So I'm a big fan of, you know, one of the lovely women I get to work with every week.
Nice. AEW rolls through Kansas City a lot, and I had my opportunity to watch it about 2 years ago. Actually had Paul White on my show at home. He co-hosted with me, and I had the opportunity to talk with Tony as well. But going to the wrestling match and hearing just how excited the fans are.
Yeah.
I mean, they are into it.
Yeah.
And the boos when it's someone they don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what is that type of, you know, electric feeling like when you're in that moment, when you're about to do your finishing move?
Yeah. I think the coolest thing is that, you know, wrestling in itself is an art form, and the trickiest part is getting people to feel something.
Yes.
So whether that be a positive or a negative reaction and emotion, when you hear the crowd behind you and that reactive, it's so cool, because it's like, oh wow, I'm working to a point where I'm touching you to a point to feel like I'm touching you to feel good. That doesn't sound good. To feel an emotion that is like now this electric energy in the arena, and I think there's nothing more special than that, because it's a nice moment of like, yeah, we're all in this together. Like the wrestling community is like a big family, and when we hear that kind of reaction, it's like you're like, yes, my family is with me. Like, you know, it's very special.
Nice.
And talk about you talked about coming from Australia and now living the American dream. Like, how did that transition go? Because now you can't probably go to Starbucks without anybody noticing you.
I mean, it definitely depends where we are, but I'm always appreciative of, you know, when the fans do come up and like want to have a chat or get an autograph. It's, I think, very special, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't do this. We wouldn't be here. I think it's more surreal for when my family or my parents came here recently, and my mum was watching me go through the airport and like have people approach me, like asking, and she's like, oh, everyone's asking for your picture and this and this, and she'd be yelling out, do you want my picture? And I'm like, oh mom, shut up. But I think it's otherworldly, because I will say this, like, the fandom in wrestling is very special and unique. And it's crazy to be part of it. I'm like, you want my photo?
Right.
Like, I'm just like this little kid from Australia that, you know, and now I'm doing something that you like feel inspired by. So it's very cool. I feel grateful for it.
Nice.
You talk about fashion, right? Like, what goes into your suit that you
Oh gosh. So I will say, I am ashamed to admit, I don't have good style.
Really?
No. I grew up in a country town in Australia, so I would wear like shorts and flip-flops to the beach. So
sounds like a good day to me.
I know,
Right.
right? That's all you need.
Right, coming over here, I'm like, we're very lucky to work with you know, amazing like seamstresses and people who like put like the fashion together, and thank goodness for them, because otherwise I'd probably still be in the flip-flops. But there's a lot that goes into like when you find your character and your identity and who you are. It is fun. It's like, it's creating something that is like, okay, what do I want to represent myself as? And can I think of something perhaps to wear that like at Halloween a child could like want to dress up as me? Like, so I think it's like finding your groove and who you are. And I I'm getting there slowly. I just didn't have much fashion sense for a while. So
That's all right. That's right. So when you got into wrestling, was that your first time like fighting ever, or did you have like a little tussle, a little squabble?
no,
You know,
I was a good girl. Yeah, I
Me
was
too.
Yeah, I hadn't ever been in the realm of fighting. Actually, I will say before anything, the first exposure I ever had to any sort of physicality in my career was I used to be a ring girl for bare knuckle fighting. Actually,
Okay.
so
Wow.
yeah, that was the first
Whoa.
time I ever like saw fighting kind of really up close, and I was like, oh god. And then I don't know what inspired me to obviously look at the wrestling and go, I want to get my ass beat, you know. But I will say it's definitely brought out like a fierceness in me, you know.
Yeah,
Like wrestling
yeah.
is very empowering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's like your confidence level too. You feel untouchable.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
Yes, I mean, don't come fight me in the street though, because
she got a skill or two.
I'm gonna
She got
throw
long
down.
legs.
Yeah, yeah, use these
She got long
legs.
legs.
How do you select your walkout song?
I compose my own actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I used to produce music, and I was a singer for most of my life. So one of my favorite things to do is write. I've written a few themes for some of the wrestlers, so I composed my own.
Yeah.
So I love it because I like walking out going like, yeah, I'm actually singing this.
Yeah. These are my lyrics.
yeah, literally.
Thank you.
We definitely appreciate you coming on with us. How can people watch you and get in contact with you?
Thank you so much for having me, guys. Well, like I said, AEW on TNT, TBS, and streaming on Max. And also, I do have something very exciting I want to show you guys.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun stuff on our website, shopaew.com. But because it is this football season, look at this. We have luchador masks. Obviously, this is a Jag one. We're going to
Yeah.
have these in every single team beginning
nice.
April 23rd.
Nice.
So
Yes.
if you are a football fan, you should join that with
Yeah.
wrestling love
Can I
and,
put
you
this
know,
on?
bring the worlds
Can I put
together.
this on?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me
Go
see, let me
for
see,
it.
let me see, let me see.
You could start wrestling. This could inspire you.
Ah.
What? That suits you.
I can kick your butt right now. That mask don't help you, sir.
Yeah, we definitely got to get a Chiefs one. I feel like those will actually come in handy when it gets cold.
Yeah.
You know, have our face covered
Yeah.
up.
What do they call those masks
We
they wear?
getting rid of the shiesties and
Yeah.
we're putting on a luchador mask.
With your favorite team on it.
Yes, indeed.
All right, that is Harley Cameron. We're going to be right back here at the W Show, live from Radio Row.
The views and opinions expressed on the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.